What is going on, you guys? The AK-47's here, and it is a scorcher today, but we are taking out the 2016 ZX6r, or the ZX6r 636, as some people call it, because it has the extra 37 cc's of engine. So awesome for street riding, because it gives it a little bit more low end and mid-range over the other 600s. We have the new 2016 black and green color options on this one. Let's go hop on here, turn this on. I already have warmed up a little bit, but not too much. Alrighty, got 0 miles on the thing. It's brand new. Just gotta adjust my mirrors. Luckily, Kawasaki mirrors are always very easy to adjust. I would know, I used to have one. Alright, something like that. Okay. So, on this 636, you have power modes. You have full power and low power. You have traction control 1, 2, 3, and off. So those are right here on this rocker switch. You have your high beam, low beam. You have your flash to pass up here. Turn signals and horn. On the right side you have your start switch, kill switch. Then up here, if I can get to the button, you have your trip B, miles per gallon, average miles per gallon, clock, and odometer. So we're going to go on to odometer. Then you have your reset button and all that kind of good stuff. This one also has ABS, which is a very nice feature. You can see the ABS light lit up right there. And that's just basically telling me that ABS is active and it is working. And as soon as we go, you know, away from a stop a little bit here, the ABS light will go off. So, bike's basically warmed up here, but go over the gauge a little bit more. So you have your big analog tachometer over here. You got your ABS light right there, as I said. You know, high beam light, your neutral light, stuff like that up top. You got a gear indicator on the left side of the screen with your engine temperature down below that. You got your power modes up top and your traction control in the middle, odometer and trip and all that kind of stuff up top right, and your speedometer bottom right. So with all that being said, let's go. Alrighty, see there goes the ABS light off. Alrighty, let's get this thing going. It is very, very hot out today. Already over 100 degrees. Not very fun for riding, but you know, it's whatever. The seating position is very comfortable so far for a 600. The seat is it feels a lot wider than the other 600 seats, so you feel like you have a little bit more to sit on. It could just be me, but I feel like I have a little bit more room to move around in the seat. I feel like the back of the seat's a little bit wider than usual. It almost feels like a Yamaha seat, honestly. Yamaha has huge seats. We're just gonna go for it because I'm not waiting in this traffic. I'm just not. Alrighty, and look at that, we can go. Perks of being on a motorcycle. Shifting is very, very easy on this bike so far. Very, very light shifter, but it also is like very tactile, so. Letting the bike warm up just a little bit more until we actually get on it a little bit, because it hasn't been ridden before. So yeah, the seat definitely feels a little bit bigger than the ones I'm used to on the 600s, which is a nice thing because it really gives you a lot more room to sit on. So the display is very easy to read, very easy to see, even in direct, very bright sunlight. I don't see any problem, and the sun's coming in like right like this, So you can see the screen very easily, no issues there. The mirrors are actually pretty good. You don't really have to look around too much to see in your mirrors. You can still see your arms in the corner of the mirrors, but that's basically every single motorcycle of all time. The throttle is very, very smooth on this bike. You don't even really feel like you're turning the throttle when you're going. Kind of an interesting feeling, but I like it. The clutch is very light, and the shifting is very, very easy and very smooth. So no issues at all there. Got your nice show of forks up here. I've never understood why Kawasaki chose to make them the red ones and not green, but that's just, you know, personal color choice issues. I mean, it's an all green and black bike, so I don't know why they didn't make those green, but the red doesn't look bad. It just doesn't really necessarily fit. Not riding too high up in the RPMs here. In 6th gear, just above 6, around 7,000 RPM at 78, 80 miles an hour. So nothing too bad for vibrations or anything like that. It's very, very reasonable. I don't really feel any vibrations, to be honest, in my hands at all. Engine braking is actually really nice on this thing. It's not too much, but it's definitely not like underpowered engine braking. It actually feels very good. Got a nice quiet exhaust on it from the factory, like they all do. These things, when you take a ZX6 or a ZX10 and you put an M4 exhaust on it, they really, really scream. Oh, it definitely has power, that's for sure. You gotta wait till you get way up in the RPMs like usual, but that's good old 600 power for you. But once you're up there, you're really screaming, and it goes. This thing goes. All right, yeah, the engine braking on this is actually very, very nice. I really like it. You really don't have to get on the brakes at all to slow down. This thing actually just does it all for you. Like I said too, the clutch is actually very, very light on this bike too, so it's very easy to just pull in with like even one finger. Like you can see right there, I'm pulling it with one finger. So downshift, downshift, one finger clutch. It's very, very light. Alrighty, let's go left here. Out to our usual spot. One thing I've always said that I liked about 600s is, you know, with the 1000s, you know, even down low in the RPMs, as soon as you just like hit the throttle like that, you just go, like you just fly, you take off. It is instantaneous, just gone. With 600s down low and kind of like lower to mid RPM range, it kind of has to spool up a little bit. So when you get on it in the second gear from really low in the RPMs, you'll feel it go, and then like, you know, it'll start, you know, picking up on you. But like you'll see here, like it'll start off really low, and then at the end of that, it started pulling me. I don't know if you could see my body start to move back in the seat, but there we go, like that. So it starts out nice and slow and nice and like kind of tame down there in the bottom end, and then as you get higher up into like the mid-range, like around the 7,000 mark, and up from there, then it really starts to pull. And the extra 37 cc's of there's a deer. Just where the heck did he come from? Okay. I mean, I saw him in the road, but I didn't know where the heck he came from over there. The extra 37 cc's of this bike really help with that mid-range, because the R6 doesn't wake up. Like, the engine just doesn't have any power until about 10, 11, or 12,000 RPMs. And this bike starts getting power at about 7,000 RPM. So you're entering the power band in this bike about 3,000 RPM sooner. So the 37 cc's on top of the 599 really help with this bike in the mid-range, which is fantastic for street riding. For track riding, you're always up in the top of the RPM range, so up there, you know, the 636 and the R6 would be right neck and neck, even with power. That is a nice Z06. That is a nice car. He's probably a part of my my Facebook group. I've never actually seen it out like that, though. Huh. So on the track, go through this turn really quick. Switch back. Switch back. Switch back. Okay. Really nice in the turns. Very stable. There's more deer over here in this yard, so I gotta watch out. But the track keeps your bike in really high RPM. So up there, you're not gonna really realize the difference between like a 636 or an R6 or a CBR 600 or whatever. But on the road, when you're riding and you're constantly shifting through like lower RPM power bands, stuff like that, the 636 really going to come alive over something like the R6, because it gains so much more power sooner than the R6 does. And that's one thing I've always liked about the 636. I personally had a 636 a while ago, and that's one thing I always liked about that bike over whenever I had to ride an R6. I never felt like it had any power at all until over 10,000 RPM minimum. So very nice bike in the turns, though. The suspension on this bike actually feels very good. Braking is excellent, especially for a 600. I'm used to 1000 cc bikes that have you know, really big brakes on them, really grabby, grippy, immediate brakes. And 600s tend to have a little bit more toned down brakes than 1000 bikes do, but this one, the brakes are actually very good. Really nice power. You can shift it very quickly with clutchless shifting as well. It's very light and easy shifter to just click without using the clutch. You just click it up. It's not a quick shifter, but whenever you shift clutchlessly, then it's very quick. And it just lets you go through the power band, you know. And I wasn't in full tuck or anything, but also, if you didn't catch it on that last clip, or if you just couldn't see it because of the sun or whatever, top left of the tack over here, above your select button, is a shift light. I knew I should have gotten in front of this lady in front of me. She's smoking and she keeps flicking her cigarette out the window and hitting me with the little ashes and stuff. And it smells so bad. Alright, let's go down here, and hopefully it stays shady for the moment, and let's do a little walk around of this baby for you guys, and hopefully take some pictures of it for the thumbnail with my gloves on, now that I have nano tips on my gloves. Shout out to nano tips. I will have a review on those coming out shortly, or it might already be out by the time you see this video. So, little bug. This is the 2016 Kawasaki Ninja ZX6r 636 in the black and green 2016 graphics scheme. This is a really nice looking bike. And they finally color matched the rear shock. It is finally black rather than like gold or whatever it used to be, which never fit. So I have almost never seen a bike that looks more like a bug than this one. It looks like a Hornet. And the only other one I would say looks like a Hornet as much as this one does is the Yamaha R6 with those two like really pointy dagger looking headlights. But it is such a nice looking bike. It has such good curves on it too, like the gas tank's nice and curved and just really, really nice looking. And I always liked the ZX6R mirrors too, like the really angular, like curved mirrors, not just like big circles that stick out, you know. They actually put time in designing their mirrors. Like look at the design of that. It's like all pointed and not crappy looking. Really nice looking. Has the nice black forks. Got the big twin rotors up front with the ABS. Really, really nice looking bike. Like I said, fender eliminator, seat cowl, mirror delete, and put an M4 on there that deletes the cat. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Let me go ahead and take a picture here. So here's using my nano tips. Boop, doop, doop, boop, boo. Camera. Gotta love nano tips. Like I said, review of that will be coming out shortly. Photo. There we go. That is our picture for the day of the 2016 ZX6R. And really quick before we leave, because there's nobody here, which never happens, I'll do a sound clip for you. Alrighty. So like I said at the beginning, it's a nice quiet exhaust from the factory. Got a really big can and a really big catalytic converter down there. But, so that's what it sounds like idling. That's only 4,000 RPMs. So it sounds good once you're way up there with the stock can on it, but put an M4 can on there or a Yoshi can or something like that, gonna sound a heck of a lot better. Let's go. This seat is actually really, really comfortable, I have to say. It is really comfy. The padding on it is what makes this seat amazing. The padding and the fact that it's wider than I'm used to. It feels like a 1000, like it feels like an R1 seat. That's what it feels like. It's padded and it's wide, which is something that the R1 seats are very good at doing. They're very, that's something that Yamaha is very good at doing on the R1, is making the seat very comfortable, even for a race bike. So, anyway guys, if you want to come check out this bike or any other 600s that we may have, feel free to come down to Central Texas Powersports, and when you get there you can tell them that I sent you, that Matthew sent you, that AK sent you, whatever you want to call me by. Be like that guy with that one helmet that does those videos on the interwebs. He sent me. Just do that then. But this bike is amazing and I really like it. The power band is much stronger than the other 600s in my personal opinion. I like the look of the bike better than the CBR and better than the GSX-R. The R6 is always a really good looking 600, but they haven't revamped the look of it since 2006. So in that respect, I have to say that this one's a nicer looking bike, but The R6 is also a really nice looking bike. However, you can come in and see both of them and judge that for yourself. But for now, I got to get back to the dealership as fast as I possibly can because it is excruciatingly hot outside. So I will talk to you guys later in the next review, which should, if I follow order, be the 2016 GSX-R 750 with a 2-Bros exhaust. So that'll sound awesome. So I will see you guys in the next video. If you want to come check this thing out, come down to Central Texas Powersports, like I said. And when you're there, have a good time. And we will see you later. All right. Adios.